What's going on, guys? Yash Talalekar and Akhilesh Srivatsa back here again on the Winning Browns podcast, where two Indian kids try to win more games, more Super Bowls, more players in free agency than the Cleveland Browns ever will. Because God knows that this last 3 weeks we have not won at all anything. Both of
Yeah,
us caught the flu, which was incredibly terrible luck.
yeah.
Um,
2 weeks in a row,
and
actually.
we
Yeah,
have had test after test after test, which I don't think the grades have come back on any of them, but hopefully we win in those two. In the meanwhile, there have been several other teams that have been winning in the trade market.
mm,
Specifically, two teams that we have been very excited about as far as wanting to discuss previously, any sort of way too early power rankings. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do that, but
right.
we would like to talk about two unbelievable players switching teams. The first one being in chronological order, Trent McDuffie to the LA Rams. Akhilesh, what are your thoughts on one arguably the best nickelback in the league joining a full-on Super Bowl contender and really filling out, for me, I would say their only big need on the defensive end?
Yeah, I mean, you said the defensive end. I'm going to say as a team as a whole. I mean, when you look at the Los Angeles Rams from an offensive standpoint, their offensive line is impeccable. Obviously, their receiver core with the likes of um, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. I mean, it's a stellar cast already, and you already have some speedsters in there. Matthew Stafford's an MVP at the age of 37. Then you have guys like Kyron Williams on the back as a running back, a very affordable, a very useful running back. Obviously, you have an incredible coach with the likes of Sean McVay. You have a really young defensive line with the likes of Braden Fisk, Jared Verse, etc. The only thing that was lacking was their defensive backs, and I mean they made a huge splash. Les Snead, who is the general manager of the Los Angeles Rams, he went on air and he, publicly said that our biggest need to address is going to be the defensive backs. And I mean, my God, has he addressed it? I mean, comes here, first of all, signs Trent McDuffie and then extends him on a 4-year period. So now they have him locked down. And it's not as though the Rams are in any shortage of money, so they have that money to do so. When I look at Trent McDuffie, I mean, I was talking to you, Yash, previously about this. I looked at him as a guy who was a great nickelback who could really cover the inside well just based off his size. But when you really look at the tapes, he can play anywhere. He can be your solo corner on the outside and defend for you in incredible ways. Uh,
Correct.
I think the thing that's misleading about him to me is, oftentimes you look at those measurables and you say he's not this height, as a quarterback to be on
Yeah.
that outside. But with him, it really doesn't matter because just based off his sheer athleticism, his ability to cover so much ground from one dimension is just incredible.
I would not just
Uh,
even go there. If I may interject for a quick sec, I would say
Go ahead.
that the big thing is also I mean, for a guy his size, he's stocky. He's got a lot of physicality. I mean, I remember the Niners Super Bowl from a few
Yeah,
years back. Brandon Ayuk has a clear height advantage and is a physical receiver in his own right, dominating cornerbacks throughout the postseason that year. And McDuffie made him pretty much a non-factor throughout the entire Super Bowl. So that should be stated when you talk about, especially him going into a division like the NFC West, where there
yeah,
are physical receiver after physical receiver after physical team after physical team. So I think that will
exactly.
especially be important.
I mean, when you talk about cornerbacks, oftentimes I know Yash doesn't necessarily put him in the league that most people do, but when you look at guys like Jalen Ramsey, the fact of the matter is you can question his ability to cover, you can question his ability to make ground. The one thing you cannot question is his physicality.
Correct.
When it
Yeah.
comes to that run game, he is probably arguably the best quarterback we've seen in quite a while when it comes to covering the run game. And McDuffie is certainly at that level. You look at his ability to cover the run game, his physicality, the way he sheds blocks, all those intangibles are quite important when it looks to a cornerback that can do, on both sides of the defense. Now, when it comes to McDuffie, for me, what it gives as a leverage for these guys is overall it gives them a unique sense of space, I think. Especially in this upcoming draft, when you have, I mean, I think a couple of good defensive backs coming out of it. I think certainly the Rams are setting themselves up for success with the acquisition of Trent McDuffie. Now, along with that, yes, free agency has started as of now. Interestingly, I think recently, if I'm not wrong, let me just look at the Rams here real quick. Rams did acquire another individual um, from the Kansas City Chiefs, ironically. Um, Jalen Watson from the Chiefs as well over the course of the free agency. So now they have two defensive backs. Again, Jalen Watson was for 3 years, 51 million. Um, Not nearly the amount of money Trent McDuffie has because he's not nearly the player. But it's still, you're adding another cornerback that's physical, that's from that Spagnuolo defense, which prides themselves on the ability to play both the run and pass equally on both sides of the ball. I mean, honestly, he's a beast. I don't think people have seen the film enough on Jalen Watson. I think you give him some time, he could really be a guy who is very forceful, especially as a nickel. Now, do I think he's going to be able to play on the outside if, as effectively? I'm not sure. But I think as a nickel, he could really dominate on the inside. So let's see where that takes them. One thing I am interested in on seeing, though, when it comes to the Los Angeles Rams is what are they going to do outside of free agency? Are they going to draft somebody on the cornerback side? And if they are, obviously they don't have a top pick in the first round
They do.
because
They have one because they had two first round picks previously because of the Falcons trade last year to get James Pierce.
they
So
have a top 10 pick this year.
I don't think it's a top 10, but
That's
it's
where my point
the
is.
own pick. Yeah.
Because
No, no, it's
based on
not their
the
own pick. Sorry. It's the Falcons pick. Yes.
it's a Falcons pick,
Yeah.
right? But the thing for me is I'm not sure if they're going to get see most of the draft boards right now are projecting two quarterbacks to go off in the first top 10 picks.
Correct. Yeah.
So after that, all of them are coming in the late second round, early third round. So I don't know what the Rams have planned, but we'll see what happens.
You know, I feel like some part of me feels like they're not going to go cornerback though in the first round in the draft,
Me too.
especially
Yeah.
given they're such a win now team with so many strengths across so many different positions. I don't really think they need to go for a player that can just continue to, benefit them as far as a Super Bowl window. If at the grand scheme of things, he's not going to be a high ceiling player. And this draft from the tape that I've studied so far, and granted,
Yeah.
I haven't studied more than past the first round.
Don't do a Darren
Um,
Orlovsky though, man.
they're not, yeah, they're
Don't
not
do.
that many
I don't
players.
wait. I'm sorry. I have to interject here. Has anybody seen that clip?
I have not.
So what happens is on first take, Darren Orlovsky comes on national television and he goes, I've seen half the season of Fernando Mendoza as a
Okay.
quarterback, and I just don't think he's overall the best quarterback in this draft class because
Okay.
I've seen some better quarterbacks than him. First of all, what kind of idiot goes on air on national television says, I've seen half the games? Half the games. I haven't seen the national title. I haven't seen the
Right.
Rose Bowl. I haven't seen all the games in the playoffs. I haven't seen when it matters most against the toughest of teams. I just saw a couple of the games,
Right.
and I'm saying that you know what, he may not be the best. Like no one cares about your half the year interview. So on that same end, I'm just saying don't get yourself caught in that.
I'll double down on what Akilesh said there. I mean, I've watched the Fernando Mendoza tape. Halfway through, I only had watched half of the tape, right? This was probably about a week before the Super Bowl started. So I had not watched the the second half of the season yet.
Right.
If you just watch the first half of the season, yeah, you probably will not think that Mendoza is even like at all should be a starting quarterback in the league,
You know,
right?
Josh, honestly, I have a hot take. See, the thing is, I don't necessarily disagree with Dan Orlovsky on this one. I don't think Fernando Mendoza
Oh
is
no, no, that's
necessarily
not my
so
point.
much
All I'm saying
better.
is all I'm saying is if you look at his tape, regardless of what your analysis on it is, he
Hmm.
gets better as the season goes on. So to make a half analysis on that type of thing is incredibly irresponsible, especially if you're an ESPN analyst like
Yeah.
Dan Orlowski, specifically a guy who is known for being a quarterback expert. I mean, you gotta, yeah,
I gotta give credit where credit's due. I learned a lot when watching him break down film.
for
So I
sure.
give him credit there. But one thing I have to say myself, I'm not insanely impressed by Fernando Mendoza. I'm just being honest here. Okay, Mendoza is a great quarterback, but again, he's a system-based quarterback. If you have a correct system behind him, he can execute. But guaranteed, he's not going to be the guy to give you 300 yards. He's not going to be that guy. He's not going to be the guy to even give you 250. He might be the guy that gives you 180, but he's going to be the guy that gives you 180. but the team as a whole, because of him giving you 180, will score 35 points a game. I think that's the way I see Fernando Mendoza. I do not see him as a threat or as a quarterback. I just don't see him as a threat. I see him as a guy who, not even Sam Darnold like, but can give the offense a certain level of stability. For example, I mean, let's be honest here. If he's going to the Raiders, which he probably will because the quarterbacks this year are not that great. Just being blanket honest, they're not that great.
Right.
When I look at the Raiders, obviously they have a very talented running back in Ashton Genty. If they have a credible offensive line, they have a credible offensive line, which will take years to build. It's not going to be an easy thing, especially because this year free agency, you don't have the greatest of offensive linemen.
Right.
But overall, I think that if you have the right system behind him, he'll maybe throw 200 yards a game, but he's going to give Ashton Genty the ball a lot. If you have a right system around him, Fernando Mendoza is your quarterback. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is if you give an Indiana football team 2024 to 2025 reincarnate,
Right.
then Fernando Mendoza is a good quarterback. I just don't see him being successful outside of the system. That's just me.
You heard it first here on the Winning Browns podcast. We will have more information about these types of takes in the following weeks, so stay tuned.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Hey,
That's all I want to know.
I'm gonna keep the drama unfolding for the next few weeks because
Okay.
we want to get some more subscribers, and this type of drama works for television, podcast, or any other media I've
It
noticed.
does. It does.
Um,
It does.
I've been watching recently the show Mad Men, and they are very good at unfolding drama. So I'm taking
I
a page
see.
out of their book.
Hmm.
Um, Highly recommend the show. Great TV show. John Hamm is the main actor in that TV show. Unbelievably written. Very popular apparently when we were kids. I did not know that, but
Oh, it's an old show.
it's from the like it started in 2007, ended in 2015.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
not bad. What, 8 seasons then? Not bad.
Seven and a half, yeah. Um,
That's not bad.
and it
How can
takes
you have how can you have 7.5 seasons?
it's a weird thing where it's like they kind of divided their seventh season. So it's a full seventh season and then some extra. Let's put it that way.
Oh, it's like a blooper reel after a movie type.
No, not a blooper reel. It's just like they made a shorter extension of the seventh season because
Oh,
they
they
wanted
ran out of ideas. They had to do something.
no, it wasn't even the ran out of ideas. They just wanted
Okay,
to
okay.
extend the seventh season because that way John Hamm would win an Emmy because he couldn't win in 2014.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
see.
weird.
I see. I thought you were going to be a spoiler, and I was scared. Okay,
No, no,
I
no.
see.
But regardless, great
Actually, Yash,
show. Highly recommend it.
I do want to ask you this though. When it comes to the free agency, and I do want to give a little bit of background story. So Yash was at LSU last week, and I mean he was packing up. I had the flu last week, and so he got on a flight, I think on Friday.
Yeah.
So he arrives here, and I get a text from Yash, and I'm in the middle of a chemistry exam,
Oh
and
shoot.
and I actually went. I actually went to my chemistry class. Shout out to Professor Nilu if you're watching this. I went to the chemistry exam, chemistry quiz rather,
Okay.
um, and I had to because I was like, I'm not gonna miss a quiz, even though I was sick. So I did go. I come back in my car. I couldn't attend live because I was that sick. I check my phone and Yash goes, "Why do I get the craziest messages on my flight?" What are you talking about? I open my phone. He says, check the NFL. I check the NFL. Max Crosby gets traded from the from the Las Vegas Raiders
Right.
to the Baltimore Ravens. And I read his message again. He's like, why do I get the craziest NFL messages whenever I'm on the plane?
Right.
So I'll ask you this. What do you think about it? Do you think it was the right move? Because I have a hot take on it, but
I
I'll
think
give it to you.
I mean, here's what I think about it. I mean, it's an edge rusher who's one of the best edge rushers in the league. Obviously, he did not come off of, let's say, the greatest season that he's had personally,
Sure.
right? Um, and he's 29 years old. And usually, edge rushers, for the most part, they start dwindling when they are around that age 29 year. Now, we should be taking in consideration, however, this is Max Crosby. This is not just any edge rusher out there, right? Um,
Yeah.
and I would say that the while the two first round picks are certainly steep, There are certain things about Max Crosby that everyone should know just contextually before we even like make an evaluation. Let me just pull up the stats real quick,
Okay.
just so I can give further context about Max Crosby for a sec. Okay, hold up. Where am I going here? Why is this taking forever? Here we go.
So
Apparently,
if you want,
wow, Pro Football Reference changed their their outline.
is it okay?
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. This is what I'm talking about here. So Max Crosby last year had, why is this taking forever to load? Okay, go ahead, Akilesh. While I'm pulling this up, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you wanted me to go over the details of the trade itself.
Yeah, yeah, go
So
ahead. In the meanwhile,
so
you,
the
yeah.
so the Raiders traded away Max Crosby for the 2026 and 2027 first round picks. Um, So, to be specific, they traded Max Crosby. This is from NFL.com. Las Vegas is trading five-time Pro Bowl defensive end Max Crosby to the Ravens in exchange for Baltimore's number 14 pick in the 2026 NFL Draft and a 2027 first-round pick. The deal became so yeah, it officially can't become a deal till the start of the new league year on Wednesday, but I mean it's pretty much there. Over the He's a 2019 fourth round pick out of Eastern Michigan. 16 and a half sacks, 133 tackles for losses, 164 quarterback hits, 11 forced fumbles, and an interception in 110 career games. Obviously, we know the deal that Max Crosby brings to the table. He's an effective and absolutely monster. Honestly, Yash was saying he had a down year this year. He had 10 sacks this year as
He
well,
had 10
right?
sacks, but here's the issue.
But
He was comparatively, usually he's somewhere in the top five, top 10 in pressures. This past year, he was 29th in the league in pressures. He only
right,
had 29 pressures, which is the lowest he's had since 2020. He also had the highest missed tackle percentage of his career dating back to 2020. So those are
hmm,
things that all I'm saying is contextually, we should have concerns about, especially given the
sure,
fact that he's going to the Ravens with such a steep price, such as two first round picks. But in the
right,
grand scheme of things, I don't have too much uh I don't have too much worry about this because at the end of the day, it is Max Crosby.
yeah,
To me, I look at this similar to any type of trade that Khalil Mack has. I keep bringing up Khalil Mack anytime an edge rusher gets traded, but
yeah,
Khalil Mack is really the best edge rusher you can describe. From the Raiders standpoint, um, honestly, you can make an argument that they should have asked for more than two first round picks, but at the same time, no one has
that's my
given them two
point.
first round picks for Max Crosby over the last 2 years. So that makes you wonder what truly his trade value is. From the Ravens standpoint, though, they needed an edge rusher one way or another. It didn't really matter who the edge rusher is.
That's
To go
fair.
and get a premium edge rusher like Max Crosby and add him to a defense that has so much talent from top to bottom. I mean, you got Nnamdi Madubuike, Travis Jones, who I think is going to be a breakout candidate for the Ravens and is one of the most underrated nose tackles in the entire league. You got
Right.
a guy who I love as far as depth that they have in Anais Peebles. They got Michael Pierce. They got Broderick Washington. They just got a star-studded interior defensive line. You look at the teams that were so great this past year. A lot of them had great interior lines are surrounded by some elite edge rushers. You look at the Rams, you look at the Seahawks, you look at the Patriots and the Broncos, same idea,
Yeah,
all
same
four
idea.
NFC
Yeah,
champions. Then you go to the linebacker. I mean, they have arguably the best linebacker in the
core.
AFC
Yeah,
in Roquan Smith. Then you go to their secondary, Marlon Humphrey,
Kyle
maybe
Hamilton.
if not top three nickelback in the league, probably top five, I would
Yeah,
say certainly one of the most versatile cornerbacks in the league outside of McDuffie.
sure.
Um, you got Nate Wiggins, who's emerged into a pretty solid cornerback. And then, of course, you got arguably the best safety in the football in Kyle Hamilton back
Yeah,
there. Not to mention Malachi Starks, who might turn out to become another great defensive
yeah.
back on that Ravens team. I mean, this Ravens team is complete now. I'm interested in seeing what other free agency moves they can do. Just add on a little bit more depth defensively, especially on that
Right.
pass rush. But Max Crosby is a great start for this Ravens team. And I really like that trade for that reason. And especially given, like, I think off camera, Akhilesh mentioned this about Jesse Minter. Max Crosby
Yeah.
is his guy, and Jesse Minter is one of those rare defensive coordinators in the league that gets the most out of any player, regardless of his
Yeah,
age and his skill set level. I mean, Max Crosby is that type of guy, and Jesse Minter is going to get the best out of that defense coordinator. And I'm excited for this
exactly.
Ravens team because, I mean, offensively, they got Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson, we all know what he can do offensively, regardless of the
Right.
concerns you might have about Declan Doyle being too young as the OC. Now you get defense, Jesse
I
Minter,
mean,
Max
yeah.
Crosby. I'll leave the floor out to you.
Look, this deal for me, I was shocked because obviously Tom Brady being the minority owner, at this point, the word minority owner for Tom Brady doesn't make much sense. He kind of is the majority owner
Yeah.
in terms of the actions. Like, I swear, everything that happens, like, we don't even know who the owner of the actual majority owner of the team is at this
Oh,
point.
I
We
know,
just know
Mark
that.
Davis. Yeah, I have beef with him.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, look, I'll say this about the Raiders organization. Ever since the, unfortunate passing of Al Davis, the organization has been an utter embarrassment.
Hmm.
Um, and they continue to be an embarrassment. As far as I see, when it comes to trading away Max Crosby, Yash said it lightly that they only asked for two first round picks. I'm saying it strongly. What the world is wrong with you? Like, you have a horrible team at your standpoint right now. I believe the Ravens. Wow, sorry. I believe the Ravens would have actually traded a person like Tyler Linderbaum or somebody from that offensive line along with this. You realize you brought in a guy like Ashton Genty to run your offense. You saw him as that franchise player. The franchise player can't do anything if he doesn't have an offensive line, and you don't have an offensive line. Like, I could play offensive line because we both are gonna get pancaked that bad. At the end of the day, that's what it is. I could gain 300 pounds. I mean, no, let's not do that.
I
But at the same
don't think you
time,
want
like,
to.
no, I don't. I seriously, seriously don't want to. I don't want to. What's it called? The Diamond Gym. I don't want to go there and start
If
working
you
out.
don't mind, can I tell a quick story?
Yeah.
There's a Ravens lineman by the name of Emory Jones who went to LSU last year,
Okay.
who I don't know why he was at the five. I mean, I'm pretty sure the athletes got their own dining room and whatnot, so I don't know why he was at the five. I'm guessing he was probably with his girlfriend or something. I didn't see her.
Okay.
So I went to talk to him and start picking his brain. And this was over multiple times, right? And this man, there was one specific occasion, mind you, for context, Emory Jones is 6'6", 350 pounds. Okay, he's a big man, and he looks bigger in person too.
Yeah.
Um, this man, I was at the five, the dining hall, for about an hour because I was studying while I was eating, so I kind of lost track of time. This man was eating before I came and was eating after I left. He had six plates in front of him and he filled them, I want to say at least twice or thrice while I was there. It was
Whoa.
unbelievable. That's how much a lineman eats, just for context.
Whoa. That is whoa. I mean, I like to eat. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah,
love
same.
food, but at the same time, that is wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't play. You know what? Never mind, Raiders. I will not come as a replacement anytime soon. But when it comes to the identity of the Raiders, which is to be a nasty football team, they're not at all a nasty football team. Like, you couldn't get an offensive lineman or something. Like, it makes no sense to me that they didn't ask for another amenity along with this. Like, Max Crosby, I get it. He's 29 years old. He's going to age. He probably has another good 4 years, 4 years left in him. I
Yeah,
get that. But at the same time, you could have asked for a bit more of leverage. I don't know why the Raiders always undersell themselves. I don't get it. It never makes sense to me.
correct.
So they do this and they screw themselves over. They screw the entire NFL over after giving the Ravens exactly what they needed. They get the best defensive play caller in the entire NFL. They get arguably one of the youngest confident minds when it comes to an offensive standpoint. You have arguably the best quarterback at your disposal in Lamar Jackson when he's at his best. You have Derrick Henry, which, you know what? Hot topic. Ravens should trade away Derrick Henry.
Ooh, ooh,
I think so.
ooh.
I think so. The reason why I say that is this. In this draft, the way I think with Derrick Henry is this. He is getting older. Okay. I think you should trade away Derrick Henry in a season or so. I think keep him around this season, but you should trade him away next season. The reason why I say that is his value going to decrease by next season? Yes, it will.
Yeah,
However, the thing is, I feel you should draft a running back or two running backs this round, develop them, and then apply them into your strategy. And I think the way Declan Doyle works is because of that Ben Johnson system, it's not going to be a one running back system. It's going to develop into a two running back system. And those are type of guys who are going to be young, who can run the ball, but at the same time be really good when it comes to the pass. So I think in that sense, always when it comes to Lamar Jackson, where he was best when it came to his season was when you created deception, right?
right.
The year Lamar Jackson, the previous year, not the previous year, not meaning 2023 to 2024, or sorry, 24 to 25.
No, no, you got it. 23, 24. That was the 2 years where he was all pro, I think.
Right?
Yeah.
That year, he threw 41 touchdowns. He had over 4,000 yards passing, but everybody looked at him as a scrambling threat. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So when you have that sort of leverage with him, it gives you a lot of stability. I think that's what Declan Doyle is looking at. Now, if I have Derrick Henry, the problem that it becomes is Henry is getting older. He's
Right.
not the same type of individual. Yes, he can power through and he can give you time. He can definitely shake off time from the clock if that's the goal. But I think with the type of offense that Doyle's looking at, I'm not sure Henry fits the mold. So I would give it one season. But I think the next season they should trade Derrick Henry, gather some amenities from a draft standpoint, and then develop from there. I really think that's a possibility.
Interesting you mentioned because knowing the Ravens, they always love depth on the run game. Over the last 2 years since they've had Derrick Henry, they kind of moved away from it. But I'm
Yeah,
surprised that way that they didn't go after. And I know he's also aging, but still the fact that from the standpoint of at least being a platoon for whatever succeeding running back comes into, because I agree with you. I think that the best way to handle the Derrick Henry stuff, specifically given he's older, but he's also Derrick Henry,
yeah,
is just finding a successor and seeing how far Derrick Henry could go, but even just kind of giving pressure off of Derrick Henry so he can extend his career. I'm
yeah,
surprised they weren't more interested in someone like David Montgomery, especially with the experience that he
yeah.
has in a Ben Johnson system. I would have thought that Declan Doyle might have wanted someone like that. Um,
Right.
but then again, I mean, it looked like they were investing all that time and energy into Max Crosby. I don't blame them,
I
right?
mean, it's worked out for them clearly, right? Let me say
Yeah.
this about the Ravens defense. This will be the best defense we will see in the past 20 years. I'm making a lot of hot statements here, and I'm not
Oh.
afraid to. This will be the best defense we will see in the past 20 years. And am I saying, well, 2005 is the cut point? Yes. So I'm not going to say it's better than the 2000 Ravens, okay? But this will be the best defense we've seen in 20 years, and I'm confident in saying that. This will be better than the '08.
Whoa,
It's
whoa, whoa!
personally,
Over the Legion of Boom Seahawks?
I'm ready to say so. I'm ready to say so.
Wow.
Because the reason why I say that is this. They have the time and space to gather a young talent on another defensive end, which is their only quote unquote lacking thing that they have. They
Right,
have Max Crosby dominant. They have an extremely dominant inside defense. They have an extremely dominant linebacker core. They have a young, tenacious, feisty defensive backs. They have probably the best safety in the entire NFL in Kyle Hamilton, who can also play linebacker if needed.
right,
They can do everything. And they also have arguably the best defensive play caller in the past 15 years.
right.
Yeah, I'm saying he's better than Vic Fangio. Yes, I am saying he's better than Brandon Staley, my guy. He used to be my guy. I'm sorry, you're out of the picture. Okay? But with all that being said, when you have that as your back, this team, man, I'm telling you right now, I'm making so many hot takes. This is insane.
I
Ravens
was
and
making more
Rams are
hot
this.
takes than Stephen A. Smith.
Well, I mean, he doesn't make any many hot takes anymore. I'm sorry, man. He
Okay,
doesn't.
fine. Skip Bayless. How about that?
Well, see, here's the difference. Skip Bayless makes hot takes like he had, you know, it's like this. You know what I'm saying? Like Skip Bayless makes hot takes where he's like, putting hot sauce instead of syrup over a pancake makes a pancake doable. You know what I'm saying?
Hot
Like
sauce
he
in a pan. Oh, ew.
No, no, no.
Ew.
But no, okay, hold up. It might not be that bad now. Let's be
I've
honest.
tried it. It's not good.
Well, it depends on the type of hot sauce you use now. If you're using straight up like, burn your mouth type hot sauce, you gotta mix
Tabasco.
it in. Okay, yeah, then yeah, that's bad. But because Tabasco is mainly vinegar at that point, right? So
Yeah, sure.
it is bad. But at the same time, I'm saying like Skip Bayless makes takes where you question his job. I make takes where it's like you can question my takes, not my job, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, okay, when it comes to the hot take, I said the Ravens will have the best defense of the past 20 years. I said they should trade away Derrick Henry the next year. I did say that I made some hot take in the beginning of the show. Uh,
No, I mean, you said Max Crosby didn't get should have been traded for more than two first round picks. That
that's not a
itself
hot
is
take.
it's to
I
a
don't think
degree. To a
that's not
degree.
really a hot take, man. I mean, unless you're a Raiders fan, which at this point I really don't care. You don't
I don't
mean
know. Half
anything.
of NFL social
Sorry.
media might disagree with you on that. I'm not kidding.
What,
So
they should have asked for more than two
yeah,
first round
no,
picks?
they think that they should have asked for less.
Less?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. That's what apparently is going on social media.
Ravens have so much at hand that they can give a lot more. It's not a big of a deal.
Yeah.
Okay. I made some hot take on the first one on the beginning of the show, so you guys can remind us of that. And now I'm saying this: Ravens and Rams in the Super Bowl. Ravens and Rams in the Super Bowl, and I'm calling it.
I mean, we said it at the beginning. I mean, we said it at the beginning of the show, but I mean, I really do think that as we do a power rankings way too early, those two
Yeah,
teams are the best two teams in the league right
without a doubt.
now.
Without a doubt.
But it does bring us to the next part of our show, which is going to be talking about NFL free agency. Obviously, we are a day in as we record this into
Right.
talking about the NFL free agency, and there are a lot of moves, a lot of different interesting moves that have happened. Some trades, some free agency moves. You're
Yeah.
talking about the offensive line and specifically acquiring Linderbaum. I should say that the Raiders just signed Tyler Linderbaum. I don't know for how much yet, but I mean, there's your answer.
I
The-
called it.
Yeah,
How about that? You know what? Hey guys, got to take it back now. Sorry.
but
What
there we
a
go.
pull. Hey,
That
what
happened
a
just as we were
pull.
recording, so I find that very
You
interesting.
know what, man? Hats off to the Las Vegas Raiders. I got a problem with the Chargers now. All of a sudden, y'all couldn't do anything. We have the number one cap space in the entire NFL. We pick up some random guy from the Washington Commanders who won a Pro Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys. Is that what we do?
I do love this move for the Raiders specifically for one reason.
It's a
If
great
you
job,
guys
man.
remember a couple years ago when the 24 draft was going on, Akilesh and I had this random debate about who's the best center in the draft class. And he was like, it was Jackson Powers Johnson. I was on the Zach Frazier train. So
Yeah.
far, I've been kind of right. The Zach Frazier's been better, and I will, pat
Yeah,
my back on that. But
you
uh,
will.
regardless, I always felt that Jackson Powers Johnson was better as a guard than a center. And now he's getting to play guard. And for me, I really think that will do wonders for the Raiders, especially on their interior O line, which they need to solve, as Akilesh mentioned, in order to help Ashton Genty, who was great as a rookie, but will be
Yeah.
even better now that he has some power run game specialists on that interior O line.
Yeah. I mean, great job by great job by the Las Vegas Raiders in acquiring Tyler Linderbaum. This guy is probably the best center in the NFL, arguably. So, in that standpoint, for him to come here, great job. Can't even, say anything bad about it. I'll take back that hot comment because they got the guy, so I'm not gonna say anything now.
And so here are the contract details about it. It's a 3-year, $81 million deal that includes $60 million guarantee, making him the highest
Hmm.
paid interior offensive lineman in the NFL.
Honestly, like for his level, that's kind of cheap. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna lie. Like genuinely, that's not too bad at all. That's not too bad at all.
Oh yeah,
They
I
they didn't
agree.
have to give up much money. Not bad. Tom Brady definitely making some changes. See, I didn't mention Davis because who cares? Um, yeah, sorry to all those Raiders fans who all of a sudden love, what's his name? Mark Davis?
Mark Davis, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing credible about Mark Davis is the fact that he's the owner of the Las Vegas Aces. That's all he's got.
His
And
haircut's not even that credible if you guys have
he
seen
has
his
hair?
haircut. Oh, he has hair and
He
it's the
has hair.
like look it
Okay.
up. I mean, I'm not kidding. Look up his haircut. It is the worst haircut of all time.
on a separate issue, um, the Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker III, has officially signed a $45 million contract with the Kansas City Chiefs. Finally, the Chiefs get a power running back. I mean, I think it's been nearly 10 years since the dismissal of Kareem Hunt that they've actually got a power running back. So now they finally have a power running back. Obviously, Kenneth Walker hasn't been like, a number one type running back. I'll give you that. But at the same time, I feel like he's also been a very talented, very reliable running back. So we'll see how it goes, where it goes.
I do like the move. I'm just a little more concerned as to how much the pay goes because I do think obviously this is a Chiefs team that has so many different holes that on their roster that need to be taken care of as we've seen the
Right.
roster kind of fall apart. You can't just rely on Mahomes, and I do wonder whether the run game was the most important thing. I would have personally invested a little more infrastructure into the offensive line, a weapon or two, perhaps on the defense. Granted, they have done some stuff defensively. They finally
They
get a
lost
nose
a lot of
tackle to
stuff.
help Chris Jones, which I've been clamoring for years now, in Kyrus Tonga, who I absolutely, if you guys know me, I've been in love with Kyrus Tonga since he was in college. I mean, like that guy is so good and so underrated. He was a great nose tackle for the Patriots last year. I feel like I talked about him more than anybody in on YouTube, but he's great, and I think the Chiefs will
Right.
love a guy like him. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they are definitely not done. So I'm interested in seeing what they do with the rest of money. Another deal that has gone down, the Pittsburgh Steelers have traded for
Yeah.
Michael Pittman Jr. and given him a 3-year, $59 million deal. I'm
It's a
interested.
classic Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, Omar Khan, our Indian brother, we have a lot of respect for you,
Yeah.
bro. But bro, you haven't got a reliable receiver yet. Michael Pittman's a good receiver. He's not bad. I just I don't find it anything to write home, to be honest. Michael Pittman's not a guy to give you 1,300, 1,200 yards. He's just not that guy.
The good thing about him is they finally got a receiver who's not part of the whole diva trend.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if
true.
you, I don't know if you guys have seen this. There is a video on YouTube by this YouTuber. His name is weird, so bear with me. His name is Urinating Tree, but he's a
Oh
great
God.
YouTuber. He has a thumbnail on a video that he made recently on the Pittsburgh Steelers receiver. It's like the
Mhm.
evolution of the Steelers receiver. And it's like it's the picture of like the evolution of man, and the final stage is a Steelers receiver, and it's Antonio Brown.
No, they've had unfortunate luck when it comes to which is crazy because the Steelers are the most professional football club, but at the same time they have had the least professional of players.
Yeah.
Um, I think we'll finish off with this last big name free agency move here, which is Rashawn Gary.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Rashawn Gary to the Dallas Cowboys, which very interesting on this move. Um, let me pull up the details here real quick,
He got traded for a fourth round pick in 2027.
which is honestly insane. I don't understand why. Yeah, so when I look at Rashawn Gary for me, so it's just a fourth round pick for the guy. Um, the thing that for me, Rashawn Gary, I remember him coming out of Michigan, who was an absolute monster. Has he lived up to the exact hype that he had coming out of Michigan? Certainly not. I'll be honest. Like he's not lived up to that insane of a hype. But if we remember when Micah Parsons got traded to the Green Bay Packers, the reason why everybody was so high on the Packers defense all of a sudden was because Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons were on the same team. Both of them rushing at the same time at the quarterback seemed like, a dream match made in heaven. So just for a fourth round pick, honestly, the Cowboys, I hate saying this, they won this trade. Just to offer a fourth round pick for a guy like Rashawn Gary, a guy along with Kenny Clark, who was there previously, along with now Quinnen Williams.
Osa Digizua
Was
also.
it, honestly, the Cowboys defense is shaping into a very scary team. Obviously, we know the offense. Could we be saying that the Dallas Cowboys make a Super Bowl? I'm not gonna go that far now.
If you say that, my roommate is going to annoy me for the rest of eternity.
But at the same time, Yash. I'm just looking at it from a very objective standpoint. They have an offensive roster that outside of the running back is not questionable.
Hmm.
If we're just being honest,
Right.
their defensive backs are the only questionable part. The linebackers, they're good. They're not questionable. Their defensive backs are questionable. Their defensive line was very questionable, and now they've built it literally perfect.
Right.
You, I'm not lying, Yash. If Coach, um, well, what's his name?
Schottenheimer.
If Coach Schottenheimer can get this team playing, if that defense can roll, we could see the Dallas Cowboys possibly making a Super Bowl in the next 3 years. It's a scary proposition, my friends. It is a scary proposition. I'm not gonna say this because that's the biggest risk I'll take a person. Okay, Stephen A. Smith has had a lot of hot takes previously. He's been a little irritating at times, but the one thing he's never been wrong about is the absolute inability for Cowboys fans to be realistic with their lives. They're the type of people that look at themselves and they say, I got a 46 on a test. No, 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 no. I got a 94. You got to switch the six around and keep it on the other side. That's what they do.
Hmm.
Always. They are never the ones to look at themselves and say, when we're trash, we're trash. That's why I have a ton of respect for Knicks fans. Because y'all know that you've been nothing relevant to the NBA for time and eternity. But you look at yourselves realistically and you say, if we're trash, we're trash. I respect that a lot. The Jets fans have a lot of respect for you. Because you look at yourselves and you say, I don't know why I'm a Jets fan. I just have to wear something green. Like, I completely get it. You guys have not meant anything for the NFL, and you live by that. And you also preach it. When it comes to the Cowboys fans, you haven't won anything, anything in the past 25 years. You've been nothing but a nuisance. And you continue to be a nuisance for no reason. All I will say is this, though. You guys now have the right to be excited. Because what you've built right now is possibly a team that could make the Super Bowl. All you need to do is strengthen this defensive back and add a running back. That's all you really need to do. And by this time, you'll finish eating your lunch and you'll be on the way to the Super Bowl. I'm not
This is
joking.
breakfast for me, actually.
Breakfast, my bad. Guys, it is 11:30 in the morning here, and this man is having breakfast. This is brunch, buddy.
What do
All
you
right,
want me
get
to
it right.
say, man? I
Get it
woke
right.
up
It's
late.
brunch. It's brunch. I mean, I got up at 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock today, which is a
I
little
woke
late.
up literally 5 minutes before we started recording this.
This is insane. This is insane. Okay, but by the way, random question. When's the latest anybody's ever woken up? That's a good question. I personally, the latest I've woken up, probably 9:30. I think that's the latest I've ever woken up.
Same, PM.
There's no way you can sleep for more than 12 hours, bro.
I've
That is
slept, I've
impossible.
slept, I think the furthest I've ever slept is 22 hours. I'm not kidding.
It's insane. That's insane. How do
Yeah.
you do that?
Well, I didn't sleep for 6 days prior, so there's that.
That's insane. You know, there's actually a clinical test where a guy didn't sleep for 7 days straight and he lost it. Like his entire life, he just lost it.
Oh yeah, I know. I think it was for him 11 days. Um, I mean, I'll tell you this, when you get to like the fourth, fifth day, you hallucinate a lot. And it's like I probably should have slept. I have a paranoia when it comes to tests dating back to high school. Akhilesh can kind of allude to this. We were in
Yeah.
the same AP Chem class, and made the stupid decision of taking AP Bio, Calc BC, and Chem in the
Yeah.
same year.
He took
Um,
five APs, not just those three. He took
yeah.
five APs at the same time. Now, people take six APs at the same time, but it just depends on the type of guy you are.
Right,
But
and
go ahead.
and taking those specific APs, I don't think even the smartest kid in the room will take those three specific APs in the same year
Right.
unless they are a psychopath or unless they know the Da Vinci Code, which I don't know either of, right? So bad decision on my part. A lot of sleepless nights. And I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of messed up my sleep schedule a lot. And that's why I'm able to do a lot of this stuff, but it's not good. I would not recommend it to anybody. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, the good part about it is when you finally get to sleep, it's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, let's just not recommend in the entire world. You don't sleep for 6 days and then all of a sudden you sleep for 22 hours straight. So, kids at home or whoever's watching this, please don't do that. Um, on another note, though, coming back to you Cowboys fans, for the first time, I think in forever, literally forever, since the start of this 21st century, you guys have the right to be excited now. And if you get in my face and you say, "Oh my God, look at our squad," I'm not gonna question it. Because the truth of the matter is this: you retain George Pickens, and you have the offense with the running back. It doesn't even have to be a good running back. A guy who can give you maybe 700, 800 yards on rushing.
Javonte Williams had been pretty good last year for them, so if they can
So
re-sign
I'm
him,
re-sign him and then just allow him to do what he needs to do. And if you just add a couple of pieces on this defense, you have a possibility of entering that Super Bowl within the next 3 years.
here's the big issue though. Go ahead.
Although I do want to mention this. I would gladly accept it if you guys fumble like you always do, though. I would gladly accept it. Because the thing is, the matter of fact is this, man. Y'all had Micah Parsons and you had Dexter, not Dexter Lawrence, what's his name?
DeMarcus
DeMarcus
Lawrence.
Lawrence. You had all those pieces and y'all fumbled. So it could happen. It could very well happen, but I don't want to prey on a downfall of any situation,
Yeah.
especially a guy who's 80 plus years and he just wants another Super Bowl. I respect it, Jerry, but and you've done a great job on this one. I got to give you credit where credit's due. But the Cowboys are coming, and they're coming quick. They are coming very soon. They're coming very soon.
Pause about that statement. No, never mind.
Oh my God, bro. Sheesh.
But
You just made me a Charles Barkley meme, bro.
yeah,
Golly.
yeah. I mean, you made yourself there.
No, but I didn't even make this is the thing with the world right now. Why in the world does stupid things like this have to be taken in such disgusting manners?
Because we're immature. That's the fun of
Bro,
it.
literally, chemistry problems, bro. I swear, we have an exam, right? And you have to name a certain chemical compound. You know, you have to number
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, of
number of
course.
carbons, and then if there's an alkene bond, there's an alkyl bond, or whatever there's there.
Right.
And you gotta actually name the compound. So you have a benzene ring. One of the compounds was I'm gonna get flamed for this. 6,7 dimethyl.
Oh my God. Okay, that one is
Right,
annoying though. That
right.
legitimately is
No,
annoying.
but this is what I'm trying to say. It's things like this, and all of a sudden I say coming, and all of a sudden you go pause. Like, what? Hey, I'm coming to your house. Pause. What? Like, I can't. Well, what am I supposed to say? I'm in a car and I am driving towards your
I'm on
house.
my way to my house to your house. You can
That
say,
also gives a pause. That also gives a
no,
pause.
it doesn't.
I'm on my way. That's a pause statement.
I
Coming and
guess.
on my way. What's the difference?
Because okay, we're not gonna
Exactly.
get into this conversation because this is child friendly, and I know a couple kids who watch the show who I should not be, we should
Certainly,
not
I'm
be
a child because I
explaining
don't
these
get it.
jokes, huh?
Certainly, I'm a child, so I don't get it.
You're above 18 though.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying. Okay, this is another thing, man. Just because I'm above 18, don't mean I know every single thing that a child doesn't know.
No, but I'm sure you've been around people who talk about this stuff. So
Look,
like, yeah,
I get it.
yeah,
Anytime I say coming, everybody goes pause. I still don't know why, but everybody just says pause all of a sudden. Even little kids start saying pause. Like it makes no sense.
yeah.
Like
I
I can't
don't,
say a sentence nowadays, and everybody will just
bro.
go pause.
It's crazy. I'm not kidding. I was talking to I forget who it was, but they have like a younger brother, and
Hmm.
this kid is like probably 5 or 6 years old, and this guy was saying like ridiculous sexual innuendos that most kids should not be knowing at that age. It was like it horrified me.
That, well, Yasha's cousin, if you're watching,
No,
is
no,
it
this
your
is not my
cousin?
cousin. This is a
Oh,
friend of mine, his little brother.
okay. Yasha's friend's little brother. I ain't got no idea what you're gonna say. So I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. I don't want anything to do with you. You can enjoy our podcast episode from afar. Well, coming back to the topic, Um,
I did want to ask you though. This is an interesting thing because you have talked about the Cowboys being potentially a Super Bowl contender in the near few years. But
yeah,
here's the issue about that, I feel, is the fact that they're in a division that includes the Eagles, who are always great, the Commanders, who recently were in an NFC championship, have Jaden Daniels, one of the elite
fair.
quarterbacks when healthy, and a Giants team who themselves is emerging into a legit playoff contender. So where do you see this division just going as a whole, especially just in the near future, maybe in the coming few years? Jeez. The Cowboys.
You see what I'm saying? You can't even
Yeah,
use
yeah, yeah.
words now. You can't even use words now.
But in the next few years, the Cowboys, I mean, definitely they're going to be in some point in the playoffs if they continue with this roster. But in the next, at least in the following year, how do you see this
Right.
division shaping up?
Look, fine. I'll add another hot take. This is gonna be like you got to be like Ernie putting up Chuck's things on the wall. Although Chuck is always wrong, I will be right. This will be the most competitive division in football for the next 5 years, without a doubt. And that is over the NFC West. Yes, they have the Rams and um the 49ers and the Seahawks. I get that. But this will be the most competitive division in football. Like you said, the okay, I'll answer two questions in one here. One is how the Cowboys will fare out in such a tough division. Second is how does this division pan out? I'll answer the second question first. When it comes to how this division will pan out, the Eagles will slowly fall off.
Mm.
I believe that will be the case. This is not going to be that type of trend where, they're going to go up, they're going to come down, they're going to go up, they're going to come down. It's not going to be that any longer. I think it's just going to steadily fall off a little bit. Um, Again, I don't know what Nick Sirianni has planned with this new offensive coordinator of his. I wish him the best of luck, but I'm not sure at this point.
Hometown kid. Hometown kid, Sean Mannion.
Foothill. So
Yeah.
no,
No, yeah, true, true, true.
sorry, man.
Hmm.
Sorry.
Hey,
Best of
but I'm
luck
just
to
shouting
you.
out.
Best of luck to you, but no. Amador for life. You know what?
Yes, sir.
Purple and gold forever.
Yeah,
Um,
hold up.
Shout out to Coach Jones, who by the way is actually leaving Amador
Yeah,
this year. So shout out to him. All the best to his family. I think he's moving to Indiana. Um,
yeah.
so all the best to him. So on that same lens, just continuing based off that topic, for me, the Washington Commanders, when it comes to them, you pointed this out a couple of years ago, Yash, and I didn't take it too seriously. I do take it a bit more seriously now when it comes to their head coach, um, Dan
Dan
Quinn.
Quinn.
Now, when it comes to Quinn, I believe in his defensive ability to play call, etc. But as a defensive coordinator, as a head
Right.
coach, he hasn't shown me that because their defense over the past 2 years has not been that great. Just being honest. We also don't know what Jaden Daniels is with a new offensive coordinator. So we'll see how that comes about. It's not as though they have incredible pieces on the offense, just being honest here.
Right.
Their Terry McLaurin is very good. Debo Samuel, I've always felt he's an overrated player. I've said that on many occasions, and I think I've personally been right on that. So we'll see where that takes us. Now, I do think the Giants are a threat. Obviously, I believe in Harbaugh because he's a Harbaugh brother. I always believe in him.
Of course.
I was the one who, I mean, I did, tell that he should be fired by this season, but I've always been supporting him in the previous years, even
Correct.
though people have talked down on him. I thought this season he should definitely be fired, and he was. Um, it's unfortunate, but that's what the situation is. He has a young quarterback in Jackson Dart, a lot of attitude. Cam, obviously. Uh, they might draft a new running back. That is being a conversation right now.
I do
But
not think that that should
which,
be a conversation. Yeah.
yeah, neither do I, but we'll see what happens there. Obviously, Malik Neighbors is one of the youngest, best receivers in the NFL. You have a defense that's also extremely stacked with a defensive line that's very good. Again, it's going to take some time, but it could definitely be a very dangerous looking team. For me, when it comes to the Cowboys, though, Yash, they have the best mix of old and young together. They have the second best, I would say. The Eagles have it right now, but for the next 5 years, the Eagles are gonna fall off slowly. It's just what's gonna happen. AJ happen. It's just what's gonna happen. AJ Brown is gonna leave. Um, he doesn't like staying there clearly. Devontae Smith is not necessarily a great weapon. He's a good weapon. He's not a great threat. Just again, being honest. Their offensive line, now the fact that we haven't talked about this. The Eagles lost their offensive line coach.
Yeah,
That's a huge deal. A huge deal. Because Mekhi Becton, when he got traded to the Los Angeles Chargers last season, I was so hyped on him. He's left in a year. It just shows the ability of an offensive line coach at
right,
that point. So he's gone. Their offensive line also has a lot of open gaps in it. It's gonna deplete. And I feel the Cowboys will rise above all of those factors. And they do honestly have been drafting very well. They have been drafting very well. Since Micah Parsons, the Cowboys have consistently been a top 15 draft squad every
correct.
year. So when I think of it in all those categories, Yash, the Cowboys will be the best in that
Wow.
division
Okay.
within the next 5 seasons. Okay, let me retract that statement. The Cowboys have the possibility of being the best in that division over the next 5 years. I believe so. Because you can say the Commanders, yes, it is fair. We just haven't seen them. We just haven't seen that team. The Giants, again, we haven't seen that team.
Correct.
With the Cowboys, we see it. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I mean, the Eagles, they are a threat, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, they are going to deplete. There's conversations about Nick Sirianni being fired. I've mentioned he
That's
should
true.
be fired
But
before.
again, at the
Six
same
team
time,
won the
though, we
Super Bowl.
cannot doubt Howie Roseman, right? So that's my big
But
thing with the
Yash,
Eagles.
it's not about Howie Roseman. The Eagles winning is no longer on Howie Roseman. The
You're
Eagles
saying it's like
winning,
a structural issue with the actual coaching
coaching
staff
staff.
and team.
That's all it is. Because think about it. Last season's team arguably was better than this season's team from a roster standpoint. You could really
Mhm.
argue that. You could really argue that. And with all that being said, Howie Roseman has done a fantastic job. He will nail the draft again. My point is, it doesn't matter. Unless you have a coaching staff that knows how to use these guys the best way possible, it is of no relevance. Nick Sirianni, look, he's a great coach, but with a great coach, you need great coordinators. The people like Harbaugh, John, and Jim have been successful because they've had great coordinators. And when they don't have great coordinators, they just can't pull it off. Look, Jim Harbaugh's my guy, and I'm still being honest here. We were trash, absolute trash in both playoff games because our coordinators couldn't pull it off.
Right.
It's what it is. You can't we can't run away from that. So from that standpoint, Sirianni could be fired. And that's because this coaching staff just cannot pull the talent together. So when I say all those things, and I'm relating it back to the Cowboys. If Schottenheimer can pull this off, just like he did last season with the offense, if the defense can pull it off, if they have a top 15 defense, Yash, they make the playoffs. You know how absurd that sounds? A top 15 defense, they can make the playoffs last season.
Yeah.
So this season, and they have the talent. I'm just saying this, it's all on the Cowboys team to pull it off. It's all on them. Has this been a big change? I guess so, but it's all on them to make it count. But that was our podcast today. I made a bunch of hot takes. I don't remember all the hot takes I mentioned,
You went on
so
a 20-minute rant again on the Cowboys too.
I did. But this is a different rant, though.
Yeah,
This was
that's
not a
true.
rant to actually negatively put those Cowboys fans down, which I don't wish to happen on them, honestly, but it's one of the best things to see. So, um,
As long as the Cowboys keep sucking, I could just continue to tease my roommate for the rest of eternity. I love
yeah.
this leverage I have on him as a 49ers fan.
But
It's great.
but Yash, you don't have it for much longer. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. You don't have it much longer. Because this team,
Hmm.
I don't know, Yash. When I look at Schottenheimer, the job that he did last season, it was so impressive. It was so impressive, genuinely, to see how much he changed the organization, to see that emotion. I mean, he's a Schottenheimer guy. Schottenheimer does that. It's a family tradition. But for me, overall, Yash, I just see this team being dangerous in a way that I haven't seen a team be dangerous. I don't know. I could be overhyping them. I don't know. I see something in them which scares me for some reason. I don't know why. It just does. So with that, I will stop talking. Will allow you to rest away from this annoying voice of mine. But let us know what you think. I think today we had a very interesting day. We went off topic a lot, but it was fun.
Yeah.
So let us know
More
what you
free
think.
agency to come, especially in the next few days.
Right,
It will be exciting to see what teams look like next week when we put out our next episode.
for
But I
sure.
mean, we had a lot of fun doing it today.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, Akilash, do you have any other final thoughts?
Um, Honestly, no. I think we covered all of the topics that we wish to cover today. Um, if I have any final thoughts, it'll be prayers to, to the world of the NFL that the Cowboys don't win the Super Bowl. Because if they do, oh my good God gracious, the world is gonna rot. The world is gonna rot, and it's gonna be bad.
I mean, the way that things are being foreshadowed right now, I mean, you never
It could
know.
happen. It
With
could happen,
all the
and
other
oh
stuff
my
that's
God.
happening in the world right now, you never know with
It
that.
terrifies me. It terrifies me to no good. It
Yeah,
terrifies me.
but
But
go ahead.
no, you finish it off. I'll give
I
it
was
to
just
you.
gonna say, I mean I mean, other than that, I think from my end too, I mean, I think we did a good job as far as covering everything that we wanted to. I'm gonna give a baseball reference, covering every base because the World Baseball Classic's going on. Shohei Ohtani, I saw that hit that you made. That was a hell of a hit. I'm
Oh,
not kidding.
hey, by the way, Shohei, did you see that stare
Yeah,
against the
yeah,
man in
I did.
Australia?
That was
He
cold.
threw that dart. So he hit him on the look, guys. I don't know baseball at all, so I'm gonna sound like a puny like 5-year-old now. Not the 5-year you're talking about. I'm a much more composed one now. So this Australia guy throws that ball, hits him with the leg. Shohei goes a little scrudge, looks around, comes back. Throws another one, and Shohei does one of those like he backs away from it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He kind of braces his back, yeah.
He gives him one of the Kobe stares. I was like, whoa.
That
Like
stuff
that,
reminded me of like Alex Rodriguez back in the day against the Red Sox. If you guys have seen the
you know what
fight
that
about
reminded
that,
me of, man? LeBron stare in the garden. That's what
ooh,
that was. That's
oh
what that
yeah,
was.
to me, yeah,
That, I mean, it wasn't to that level, you know what I'm talking about? Like that
yeah.
was like a movie in itself, but
If you want
that's
a World Baseball Classic stare, I'll recommend this video to you. Look up Randy Arozarena. Arozarena is spelled Azorena. This guy's probably my favorite player in baseball, if not number two.
oh,
Um, he made a catch. It was Mexico versus Japan in 2023. He
yeah,
made a catch, insane catch, right? Saved a home run. And he
okay.
just stood next to the wall and just stared at the camera for like a good 5, 10 seconds. I kid you not. I got such goosebumps seeing that. It was so
Wow.
cool. Like that is one of the coldest stares. That and the Messi stare against Ronaldo in I think it was
Oh,
2011
I see.
when Barcelona beat Real Madrid 5-0. Those are the two coldest stares I've ever seen in any sport.
Sheesh, man.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, we got like I
That
said,
was
we're gonna put ourselves in other sports too as we
Yeah. I mean,
elongate.
look, baseball guys, I'll be honest, I have no idea about baseball. Like if I was to say my favorite player in baseball, I mean, sure, Shohei. Like I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
anybody else to say, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
like, and I don't think anybody hates me for that also. Like I don't know anybody else, so I say Shohei. That's fine.
Shohei is the most likable, best player I think in league history. So
Yeah.
that's
So
great. Yeah,
I don't think it's wrong in that sense, but man, that stare was a really good stare. But
yeah,
more than that, I think, I do want to say this though. I think I know why he got mad. Because he was looking at his bank account and he just repeatedly got pissed off. In LA how bad the taxes are?
yeah.
Shohei gets paid 77 million a year.
Well, technically, no, 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 no,
Okay,
no.
okay, hold up, hold up, hold
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
After taxes.
Forget that. No, 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 no. He's getting paid 2 million a year because he deferred half of that money to after his
Yeah,
contract's over.
yeah. Two
So
so he just lost like straight up like $75 million,
yeah,
which is insane. No, but Shannon Sharp said this. 77 million. And then after taxes, 32.
Yeah,
32. Like that makes no sense. How LA can be that bad. But anyways, before we start getting into that side of things, we are gonna finish off this podcast episode. Thank y'all for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Put your comments in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. We do want to grow this channel as much as we can. We enjoy
definitely.
doing this. We hope you guys enjoy watching. But other than that, see ya.
Peace.